All right, let's talk about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial now. What a wild case this was. It attracted attention and curiosity around the world. The verdict is in. The jury in the case yesterday ruling in favor of Johnny Depp. Have a listen to this report now from ABC World News Tonight.
A 7-person jury siding with Johnny Depp in the trial against his ex-wife that has made global headlines for weeks. At issue, whether his ex-wife Amber Heard defamed him when she wrote about being a victim of abuse. The jury awarding Depp more than $10 million in damages. The couple married in 2015. The case involved an op-ed article Amber Heard wrote in 2018 calling herself a victim of domestic abuse without mentioning Depp by name. Depp had argued it defamed him, that it hurt his career. The jury agreed. Depp saying the jury gave me my life back.
Okay, Amber Heard, though, also partially winning her counter lawsuit over comments made by Johnny Depp's lawyer when he called her allegations of abuse a hoax. And the jury awarded her $2 million in damages. Okay, let's discuss now with my guest, Sandra Spurgeon. Sandra is a trial attorney with more than 120 state and federal cases successfully litigated. She is the author of Courage to Stand, Mastering Trial Strategies and Techniques in the Courtroom. I'm very pleased to welcome her. Sandra, thank you very much for coming on today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Okay, what a wild case this has been, a wild ride. People around the world followed this case. What is your reaction to the verdict? What did you think?
Well, from an attorney standpoint, I wasn't surprised because when they began the juror deliberations, I was very focused on the length of time that the jury spent analyzing Depp's jury instructions as it pertained to the claims of defamation and damages for Johnny Depp against Amber Heard versus the relatively short period of time that they spent considering Ms. Heard's claims against Johnny Depp. So from that standpoint, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah, were there any turning points in this trial as you followed it? Were there any kind of big points that were landed by any side that you think may have turned the tide one way or the other?
I do. I believe that, and as I teach, credibility in front of a jury is very important. They are always looking for who is going to be brutally honest or candid with them, and at every aspect or turn. And if you have an issue of credibility in front of the jury, or if your client has an issue of credibility, and so Ms. Heard's, I think one of the most damaging things for her was that they didn't get out ahead of how she had spent the $7 million in the divorce settlement that Mr. Depp had given to her. I think she said she had donated it, but at trial it came out that she'd used some of that money for her own personal use, for her living expenses. Number two was the fact that the TMZ reporter came in and said that they had received a tip that when she filed the restraining order that she was going to pause as she came out for photographs to be taken of her, which clearly appeared to have been staged. And third, I'm not sure why she felt the need to throw Kate Moss into the middle of this trial, but it certainly did not help her that Kate Moss showed up and really came about and said what she said, and regarding him potentially pushing Kate Moss down the stairs was completely untrue.
Okay, how about the damages that have been awarded by the jury here? $10 million awarded to Johnny Depp. Amber Heard awarded $2 million in damages in her counter lawsuit. Do you think any of this money will actually be paid out to the two parties here?
Well, Johnny Depp is actually sitting in the driver's seat regarding whether he will enforce the judgment against Mr. Heard or against Ms. Heard. We can expect this case to be on appeal for a couple of years, so I don't think that we're going to see a resolution of what happens in terms of payments anytime soon. And if so, it's going to be a confidential settlement. But I certainly believe, I mean, from what we're seeing on the news today, Ms. Heard does not have the ability to satisfy the judgment. And I think it's important to note that $10 million was granted in compensatory damages, which is potentially it's potentially bankrupted by Ms. Heard because it is compensatory and not punitive. And then the jury did reduce the punitive damages award.
Okay, speaking of Sandra Spurgeon, she's a trial attorney who's been following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Like, when you consider the aftermath of this, do you think either of the people here feel that this was worth going through all this 7-week-long trial? I mean, what happened? What kind of impact do you think this has had on their careers?
Well, I think that if you're watching the news, I think that this case for Johnny Depp was not about the money. It was to show Hollywood and the producers that he is still very marketable and has a following and has a fan group. And, he even came out in the news and thanked the jury for giving him his life back. And I believe that everyone, at least as of now, believes that this has restored his credibility and shown that he does have a fan base and is worthy of hiring again. Now, and I think that the entire trial was the way that he was touching his lawyer, the way that he was coming across smiling and trying to be very witty. It was all about showing that he was a nice guy, that he was a desirable guy, that people liked him, that women were attracted to him. And I think his legal team and their consultants did a good job in making that look that is true. I can't imagine Ms. Heard would ever imagined that she was going to find herself in this place 7 weeks ago.
Yeah. Last question for you. There have been a lot of comments on the aftermath and effect of this case. Domestic abuse and domestic violence is a serious and major problem in our society, and some analysts wondering if this ruling, this judgment, could have a chilling effect on victims of genuine domestic violence and abuse, maybe prevent them from coming forward with their complaints or going to the police. Do you think that's the case? I mean, do you think that has set back the cause of victims here, genuine victims?
I don't think so. I mean, the media circus, they have to talk about something, right? And, certainly that's Ms. Heard's legal team's mantra today. But I think that it really levels the playing field that men are equally victims of domestic violence as women. And so I think it brings this conversation to the table, and I don't think it does have a chilling effect. I think what it has a chilling effect upon is providing inaccurate details or accounting of what happened.
All right. Well, thanks for your analysis today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.